if we want to attract those things to us, it's really important for us to keep our vibration up, because that's going to keep us feeling really good, in a good state. And even though, like, we're human, we're going to dip down, we're going to have down moments, but when you learn how to keep your vibration up, when you do have those lower moments, it's a lot easier to bounce back from them and get back up to that place where you're going to be manifesting at an even keel.
That is so, so true. And I do, like, I'm a creation coach and I help women create what they want. So it's like another word for manifesting, really, right? And everything is about the vibration. Like, it really, really, really is. Even like when you work with mindset and you're working to create what you want, working to manifest what you want, getting in the right frame of mind, but your thoughts and your feelings are what gets you in the right frame of mind, literally. And that's kind of what you're talking about with vibration too, right?
Yeah, because it's your feelings that are the signal that you're sending out to the universe. Like when you're thinking about what you want to bring into your life, what you want to experience, if you're having, if you're feeling crappy, you're going to attract crappier things to you. Whereas if you're sending out like positive feelings, you're feeling good, you're feeling upbeat, you're feeling happy, you're going to start noticing that around you all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about how you do this. Like, is there a certain entry point? Is there something specific you work with? How do you do this?
Yeah, well, different people, their energy gets congested in different areas. And so I take a look at the person from like a holistic approach. So it's everything from their diet and what they're doing with their physical body, to the thoughts that they're thinking, to the emotions that they're feeling on a regular basis, because all of those things are working together to create your vibration.
Awesome. So do you find that there's a specific one that people tend to be the most out of alignment with, if that makes any sense? Or is it just a complete and total variety?
I think for the most part, it's the mindset, and especially it's the stories that you've got running around in your head all day, because that's the most important thing. I think there's 50,000 thoughts a day that are running through our mind. And if you're programming yourself with negative thinking and low vibe thoughts, then that's what you're going to start experiencing. And so once you get sort of a handle on your self-talk and the stories you're telling yourself, then that's a really good place to start.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So how would you work with somebody? Like, what would you do exactly? Like, do you start by testing them out? I mean, how do you even figure out where they're vibing or not vibing?
Yeah, well, I get on the phone with them, and usually people have an idea of where their energy is kind of stuck, because people know, like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, but at the end of the day, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I'm binging on junk food, or I eat really healthy, I take care of myself physically, but I'm stressed to the max because I can't handle whatever situation. So if they know, we can sort of start there. But I also do an assessment with Pendulum. And so I work on the client, and I can tell which area specifically that they need a little energetic boost in.
Okay, awesome. That's so cool. And we got some questions coming in. We got Lakeisha is here, and she's asking, how does diet play a part? Thank you, Lakeisha, for your question. And anyone else, feel free to jump in and ask some questions. So how does diet play a part?
That's a great question. And I am a recovering junk food junkie. And when you're eating a lot of processed foods and junk foods, and we'll call them heavier vibration foods, which tend to be the meat and dairy, I'm not saying those foods are necessarily bad, but on the vibration scale, they are lower. And so it's the processed foods and the junk food that are clogging up your energy big time, because your body doesn't know what the heck to do with them. They're getting stored as fat. And it's blocking your channel, because our bodies are sort of our antenna that we have to communicate with source, with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And when you're clogging your system up with food that's heavily processed and not really meant for consumption, then you're just putting like a film over your channel, and it gets blocked up.
Yes.
How can you correct
that? Awesome. Lakeisha's got some more great questions saying, she's like, how can I correct that? And I want to say, like, I know even from my own experience with doing some detoxes and cleanses and stuff, it was unbelievable what happened to me when I cut out things that were bogging down my system. Sugar was huge for me. And actually, so was gluten. I would definitely am somebody who's sensitive to gluten. So, like, the question is, how can I correct that? Are there certain specific stuff that we could just cut out, or yeah? What do we do?
I find it a lot easier to start adding high vibe foods in. Now, high vibration foods are going to be fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Those are going to be your main ones. And so if you can get a lot of fruits and vegetables in your diet, even if you're still eating what you would normally eat, by bringing in more high vibe foods, that's going to raise your vibration. And it also, like, the better quality foods that you bring in, you're slowly going to be sort of pushing out the heavier low vibe foods that are blocking your energy.
Okay, awesome. Okay, now talk to us a little bit about cleansing or detoxing your thoughts. What about that? How do you detox your thoughts? How do you cleanse your thoughts? How do you get high vibe thoughts?
Great question. I think the first step is to become aware of what your thoughts are. So when you're not feeling in a great mood, if you find yourself getting frustrated, angry, overwhelmed, whatever feeling, when you feel bad, you can feel it in your body, you tense up, you get stressed out. Start journaling and start getting that stuff down on paper, because when you keep it up in your head, it just makes it worse. It's like you're going in a vicious circle. So the first step, journal. And even if you don't know what to write, take a pen to paper and just start going. Just say, like, I don't know why I'm feeling this. I'm frustrated, blah, 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 and just see what comes out. And you'll notice a pattern, and you'll notice certain situations or certain things will sort of trigger certain feelings. And you'll have, like, by writing it down, you'll see it right there in the writing. And you're like, oh, okay, when I'm in this kind of situation, these are the thoughts that are coming up, and they're not producing the results I want to achieve. So at least you know where to start.
That's awesome. And it's so true. Like, when you're manifesting or creating what you want, the world is what you think it is such a powerful sentence, right? Because and the more you sort of break that away and dissect that, it's so true, right? There's always two opportunities. There's always two choices to be made. You could look at something in the lens of, like, fear, negativity, or you could look at it through the lens of joy, like love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about, like, those good feelings, right? And so I think what you're saying too is it's easier to maintain the good feeling thoughts if your systems are detoxed, meaning your mind, your body is detoxed from all the negativity as well. Then the momentum starts to build. So what can people expect to see? Like, say they start to work with you, or they work with a vibration coach, and they're working on clearing this stuff out. They're working on getting over a sugar addiction. They're working on changing their thoughts around. Like, what do they get? What ends up happening?
On a physical level, you're going to experience all the benefits of eating healthier food. So you've got better skin, more energy, possible weight loss, all the stuff that goes along with that. Now, on the mental, emotional level, you're going to find the things that used to irritate you don't bother you anymore. Like, a perfect example, and going back to what you just talked about with the choice. Okay, say you're driving along and somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you may, as your initial response, want to, like, tell that person off, go into, like, a little bit of road rage, right? How dare he, blah, blah, blah. If you stop and reframe and make a better choice and say, okay, maybe this person is in a hurry to get home because they just found out their kid got hurt at school or something like that. And you just reframe and you start looking at things from a different angle. So say your vibrations here normally, someone cuts you off and you're, like, in a ragey kind of how dare he kind of mood, you're going to drop down. Whoa. It's hard to do this on video. You're going to drop down. Whereas when you reframe things and look at it differently, you might drop down just a little smidge, but then you're going to bounce right back up again. And that's what it's all about. It's our day-to-day life. Like, this is all we have. This is our experience. And so when you're coasting and you're living a life when you're in a higher vibration, things are easier, you're happier, your relationships are better. And these experiences that you have here on our limited time that we have on this planet, they're just going to be a lot more fun.
Kelly, you're like you're even vibing beautifully right now. I can feel that you practice what you preach too, which I think for coaches is so important, right? But your own vibration, your own energy is just pouring out, and you can feel that even as I'm sitting here. I have life coach SJ over here says, love Kelly, she is on point. And you are so on point. Thank you for that comment. Yeah. So what do you do as a vibration coach? Like, I know for myself as a creation coach, manifesting coach, you know, a lot of people want to know, well, what have you manifested? What have you created in your life, right? And I'm wondering, like, how do you respond to that too? Because you're human, so you're not necessarily always going to be high vibing all the time, right?
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about your own practice.
I always like to see, I just look at where I was yesterday or a couple weeks before, and I sort of measure where I am today and how I'm, like, I do notice the things on a daily basis that I'm like, how am I reacting to this? How am I responding? Because I know 6 months ago, even a year ago, there were certain things that would trigger me, and now I just let them kind of, they flow, and I bounce back a lot easier. That's the big thing. And for me, I have a history, like growing up, I suffered from severe depression. I had a couple suicide attempts, addictions, pretty much any self-destructive behavior you can think of, I engaged in. And I pretty much had to face up to the fact, like, I need to learn how to be happy. I need to learn how to function if I don't want to be living like this for the rest of my life. So it was sort of a combination of spirituality, personal development, the food thing, everything tied together. And it's just built up over time. And so now diet plays a huge role, because I do know I feel a difference in myself physically if I'm not working out and taking care of myself and eating properly. And also I journal constantly, and it's part of my daily practice. I also feed my mind regular good information from books, from podcasts. I don't watch any TV, and if I don't, not that it's one of those things, a lot of people can watch TV, they can watch the news, it doesn't affect them, and they're fine with that, and that's cool. But for me, if I watch even a preview for like a horror movie, I can feel it in my body, everything contracts.
Totally, yes.
Yeah. And contraction is not where you want to be if you're manifesting or creating. You want to be expansive and open.
Oh, beautiful sentence. Yes, yes. Contraction is not where you want to be. Expansion. That is just nailed it perfectly right there. And, you know, I'm the same as you. Like, I can't do the news and stuff. I can have news maybe with writing and stuff, but yeah, like we are bombarded with a lot of things visually that can be really, really tough for sure. So the other question that I have is, where does, and I know you're not like an expert on this part per se, but have you noticed any connection with alcohol? Like, I know a lot of people talk about sugar, they talk about alcohol. How does that play a role? Oh, it looks like we have lost Kelly. Just when I was going to find out all about the wine that I can drink or not drink. Okay, well, we've lost Kelly. She might jump back in here. Does anyone want to jump in the seat while we're waiting for her to ask some questions or find out more about what's going on in here? Jump on, the seat's open. Sherry, we love you too. Thanks for all the topics beside. Practice mindfulness, meditation, absolutely. Austin Go. John Kabat-Zinn is my mentor for mindfulness meditation, and wonderful tip there. And Lakeisha, thanks for all the support too. Can't watch horror movies anymore. I used to love them. Okay, well, I'm not sure what happened to Kelly. This is the world of online content, or I mean live content. We don't get to tape this like the good old YouTube days. So thank you so much for joining us. And you can find Kelly at, where is she? You can find Kelly. I can't even find her name, but I will post it in the, I think she's at Kelly Dawn on here. And Life Coach SJ, I think what people don't understand is that manifesting is based on feeling. 100%. That is why I had Kelly on this show, because as a creation coach myself, it is all about your vibration. It is all about how you feel. It is all about what you are focusing on in your life. And when you say like attracts like, or what you focus on expands, that's exactly what we're talking about. So I have a Facebook group called The Creation Corner, and you can find me over on Facebook, and it's all about helping women create what they want in their life. And each week I have a new, oh, there's Kelly's back. Hopefully she can jump on and say goodbye. I have a weekly creator expert that comes in, and it's all around helping us create more of what we want in our life. This week it was Kelly. She was our guest expert and just rocked it out with her vibration. So next week we are going to be having the wonderful, oh, there's Kelly Dawn. And oh, you'll have to wait to see who next week is. And I got cut off. Here she comes. And yeah, so the Creation Corner Creation Corner on Facebook is where you can find us. And looks like Kelly's having trouble signing on, so I am going to say goodbye for now. Thank you. Please share the replay. Thank you so much for your interaction. It's been great having you guys here. Every single week I do a blab where I talk to experts on helping us get our create on and manifest what we want in our life. Take care. Bye.
Do we get a treat?